Hi there. My name is Rachel Kazarian, and today I'm here to present a strategic audit of Sony with strategy recommendations. For our agenda, we will talk about Sony's current situation. We will also go over the external analysis, the opportunities and threats of Sony, as well as the internal analysis, the strengths and weaknesses. We will discuss the findings of this analysis, and I will also present strategic alternatives and recommend a solution and conclude at the end. Sony is currently a market leader in gaming, electronics, and music. Sony reported an increase in revenue by 18.6% between March of 2023 and 2024 and had a return on investment of 2.87. This is relatively low compared to other industry competitors, so there is room for improvement. Sony's mission aligns with its objectives and strategies, such as its sustainability goals like the Road to Zero plan and the creative entertainment vision, a plan for integration. Top management is led by CEO Hiroki Totoki, and the board of directors is mainly made of external members as by Japanese regulation. An important aspect of top management is that they have diverse backgrounds, international experience, and expertise in media, technology, and sustainability. Now we're going to move on to the external analysis. So some of Sony's opportunities are in the gaming market. Currently, they're a leader in software distribution, but they are lagging in video games and software publishing. So this is an opportunity for them. Another opportunity is the expansion of streaming, such as subscription revenues, which would be in alignment with shifting consumer preferences. Some of Sony's biggest threats in their environment are resource scarcity, such as rare earth metals and water, regulatory challenges, such as international standards differing, and rapid technological advancement, which is costly to maintain competitive advantage. For our global issue is geopolitical risk, and the biggest issue is trade tensions and tariffs, which affect manufacturing, pricing, market access, and profitability. Some of the theories and principles that apply to this concept are free trade, supply chain efficiency, and shareholder value, which would be affected as trade tensions and tariff tension increases. Some alternatives to address this are to diversify manufacturing locations and to increase localization. To conclude, Sony should pursue a diversification strategy. Sony has a lot of strengths and weaknesses in its internal environment, such as its focus on innovation, as outlined in its 10-year creative entertainment vision. It also has made significant investments in AI, representing its capabilities in research and development. And Sony also has a very strong brand reputation, which influences consumer behavior and influences profitability. Some of Sony's weaknesses are market oversaturation, which increases their competition, as well as cybersecurity threats, which have caused data breaches in the past. To look a little closer at this ethical issue of cybersecurity, um, Sony has been vulnerable to breaches that expose data, intellectual property, and confidential information, which raises concern about Sony's protection capabilities. Um, Sony has a duty of care to provide data protection to not only employees, but its consumers and its users, and not doing so and having vulnerabilities affects their trust in the consumer and their reputation in the marketplace. Some alternatives to address this are to enhance cybersecurity investments and to strengthen internal governments to handle cybersecurity data issues. So, in conclusion, Sony should prioritize ethical data management. Overall, Sony has a focus on innovation and expanding their digital content through immersive technology and a community platform. They also are focused on cybersecurity through the expansion of technology. It does create vulnerabilities, so it will require significant investment and development to handle these vulnerabilities. And in terms of research and development capabilities, their strong performance allows them to make these investments. And if they don't, they are at risk of losing their competitive edge in the market. Some strategic alternatives are differentiation, which would be to embrace technology integration. Sony could also do strategic partnerships and leverage their resources to enhance their market presence, or they can pursue growth strategies and diversify their content portfolio. My recommendation for Sony is a combination of a differentiation and growth strategy, or UEE, United Entertainment Ecosystem. And what this would do is offer growth through digital expansion with localized offerings tailored to the countries of operation and encouraging a subscription ecosystem which would meet consumer demand, as well as a differentiation through ecosystem integration which would entail cross-platform integration under the creative entertainment vision. It would enable curation and personalization, meeting consumer demands, and it would offer exclusive content offerings. The benefits of this strategy would be increased customer lifetime value through bundled services, which increase revenue per user, increased customer retention and loyalty, as the ecosystem would encourage users to stay with Sony. It also provides scalability across global markets because it is tailored to local contexts, and it provides recurring revenue through subscription and streaming services, which diversifies Sony's revenue. The UEE strategy addresses the issue that the organizational structure at Sony isolates its units and it can leverage its position through cohesion. Um, it can do this through the principles of value maximization, user-centric integration, and sustainable growth. The alternatives are to maintain isolated business units or to partially integrate, but full integration would offer a strong strategic advantage by enhancing customer loyalty, increasing revenue, and their position as a market leader. Thank you for listening.